Z coupler on. Make sure you line the set screw up with the flat spot on the shaft.
Sorry, Lee. The Benchy's 300%. Be right back. All right.
The bearing cover is keyed and only goes in one way. Pay attention to the T-nuts. Make sure they grab. When you put the Z coupler on, make sure you line the set screw up with the flat spot on the shaft. The bearing cover is keyed and only goes in one way. Now remove the wheels from the out.
All right. Oops. Oh, got it. I was like, what? Let me adjust the camera angle. I think that'll work.
The side of the extrusion. You're going to reuse the wheels, nuts, and spacers. The front side.
Lee, I think you're my only fan tonight. Maybe I have one more out there.
End cover is keyed and only goes in one way. Now remove the wheels from the outside of the extrusion. You're going to reuse the wheels, nuts, and spacers.
Oh, dog wants in. I'll be right back.
The front side's bracket is held on with screws and T-nuts. I'm going to remove that as one assembly. You'll need to assemble the single wheel side of the bracket. Grab one of the longer screws and attach like this. You'll also want to attach the T-nuts before trying to install. Use your hex key, go through the holes. Bracket is held on with screws and T-nuts. I'm going to remove that as one assembly.
I see. There we go. Oh, I got it apart. That means I gotta put it back together. That's usually the hard part. How's my mic, guys? Mic quality okay? Mic check. 1, 2. Bueller.
You'll need to assemble the single wheel side of the bracket. Grab one of the longer screws and attach like this. The front side's bracket is held on with screws.
Fine.
I'm going to remove that as one assembly.
Alright, take that wheel off. I'm watching YouTube while streaming to YouTube. That's a great question, Lee. I'm afraid I can't answer that.
You'll need to assemble the single wheel side of the bracket. Grab one of the longer screws and attach like this.
Oh my gosh, there's so much pausing in this video.
One of the longer screws. You need to assemble the single wheel medial side of the bracket. Grab one of the longer screws and attach it like this.
Oh, I got it. Okay. All right, we're making progress now. Okay. How about it? How about ya? I'm in Central Time Zone, Lee. It's 10:30 here. I gotta stop dropping shit. That's pretty far east in the Central Time Zone, isn't it? Tennessee?
You also want to attach the T-nuts that we're trying to install. Use your hex key, go through the holes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, being in Tennessee, I figured you'd be in Eastern Time Zone.
And tighten down the screw. Grab the other two long screws and key. Start with the original spacer in the wheels, then the additional spacer in the cage. Pull the screws back just enough so you can swivel the bracket around.
5 viewers. All right. Party time. Yeah, he's laying down right next to me here. He's being real good tonight. There he goes. So, Robert, I installed. Okay, this Benchy right here was like the main reason why I bought this, because I was printing at a really low infill percentage, and I have no idea what the focus is going to do here. But since I was printing really low, when I would go to fill in the lower infill gaps, when I'd go like print over these gaps, they'd be very rough. So then the idle part here would move up and down, thus causing what looks like a layer separation issue. So you probably can't see that, but it looks horrible, and it looks like a tooth skipped on the belt. So what I did to fix it was print at like 30% infill. Well, a model this size that's 30% infill is like 200 grams of plastic, and it doesn't need to be. So uh, they weren't having issues with just one most of the time. So this will let you print bigger objects at a lower percent infill, which is what you want, because when you're printing large stuff, you don't want much infill. It's a waste of plastic. Yeah, so you know exactly what I'm talking about then with the rough flat parts. So like if you built a box and you had really low infill, the top of it wouldn't be very smooth. Unless you use really high infill. So yeah, you get it. That's exactly what's happening here. Yeah, I'm hoping so. It was only $50, and I feel like it would not hurt anything. So a lot of people have done this and they've not noticed any difference in print quality, which I get. Like one really is enough unless you have an issue like this. So to spend $50 on peace of mind like this is worth it for me and many others. Yeah, I noticed that too, Lee. I have it sitting right next to me. I think that was one of the things that the CR-10 compromised on was only having one lead screw. So I mean, it gets you by most of the time. So the cool part about this kit though is that it's OEM parts. So that this motor had a Creality badge on it when I pulled it out of the bag, and this yellow part is the same injection molded part as the other side. Same with the coupler and the Z-rod itself. So that's kind of cool. So is Tiny Machines like the only seller of this kit? Did they like design it or build it?
And get those screws through it.
Hey, yeah.
Take the lead screw and insert it through the top.
Oh yeah, that's right. I Oh, interesting. Yeah, I saw that Facebook video on the Facebook group, but I didn't really know what it meant. They saw that there was like I knew that he talked about the dual Z kit, and I had no idea what he was talking about. So I didn't even know about the dual Z kit until I needed it after this benchy, and then I went back and watched the video, and it made sense. So, so he's not gonna have OEM parts anymore then. Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's pretty shitty of Creality though, because that's business. Like, I'm sure Tiny Machines didn't want to like go behind their back, but if they have a product that there's a demand for, then like that's business. Whoops. Man, this is a tight fit. Huh. Giggity. Damn. There we go. Oh, baby. Would you look at that?
And feed it down to the brass nut in the new bracket. It should thread down into the coupler. Make sure it's fully seated, and tighten the set screw. Now that you've added a second lead screw to the other side, you need to take a measurement and make sure both sides are level off of a fixed point. Feed the cable underneath the frame, plug in each stepper, then the end stop, and you should be good to go.
All right, boys. I am getting real close here.
Hey everybody, I'm back again with another video. This time I'm here to report some sad news. Unfortunately,
Make sure your machine is powered off and all cables are unplugged before starting this. After opening the control box, you need to clip 2 zip ties. That's going to allow you to remove the cables after you disconnect them from the motherboard. Find the stepper connector labeled Z and remove it. Then the end stop labeled Z and remove it. You can now pull them through the rear of the control box. Feed the new cable through the rear of the control box and route it around the power supply cables. Plug in the stepper connector.
I'll be right back, guys. I gotta find my tape measure.
Order is not important. Add a zip tie back where you removed the originals. This will add strain relief to the system and keep the cables from being able to pull out from the control box. Attach the yellow bracket to the stepper on the opposite side of the connection. Pay attention to the T-nuts, make sure they grab. When you put the Z-coupler on, make sure you line the set screw up with the flat spot on the shaft. The bearing cover is keyed and only goes in one way. Now remove the wheels from the outside of the extrusion. You're going to reuse the wheels, nuts, and spacers. The front side's bracket is held on with screws and T-nuts. I'm going to remove that as one assembly. You'll need to assemble the single wheel side of the bracket. Grab one of the longer screws and attach like this. You also want to attach the T-nuts before trying to install. Use your hex key, go through the holes, and tighten down the screws. Grab the other two long screws that came in the kit. Start with the original spacers, then the wheels, then the additional spacers that came in the kit. Pull the screws back just enough so you can swivel the bracket around and get those screws through it. Take the lead screw
Oh my
and insert
God.
it through the top and feed it down to the brass nut in the new bracket.
It's
It
just,
should thread down into the coupler.
I guess I can lower it.
Make sure it's fully seated and tighten the set screw. Now that you've added a second lead screw to the other side, you need to take a measurement and make sure both sides are level off of a fixed point. Feed the cable underneath the frame, plug in each stepper, then the end stop, and you should be good to go. Make sure your machine
Oh man. Check this out. $147.29. $147.11. All right, I think we're close. 147.3.
It's powered off and all kick. Pull the screws back just enough so you can swivel the bracket around and get those screws through. Take the lead screw and insert it through the top. And feed it down to the brass nut in the new bracket. It should thread down into the coupler. Make sure it's fully seated and tighten the set screw. Now that you've added the second lead screw to the other side, you need to take a measurement and make sure both sides are level off of a fixed point. Keep the cable underneath the frame and plug in each stepper, then the end stop, and you should be good to go.
All right, boys, we're gonna try it out. Oh, yeah. Solid as a rock. That is awesome. All right, guys, I think we're good. Hey.